Hello all, and how are we? Welcome to the continuing series on the WPATH files. I'm running out of steam. But we keep going. We've got to keep going. We've got no choice. Because this is vital for the future generations to remember what happened so it never happens again. We've covered a number of things, and now we've got an article from James Esses on the 6th of March. James, as you know, has been embroiled in this. Handsome chap, isn't he? Has been embroiled in this for some time and provides a Substack, all of which is free of charge. If you're not a member of the Substack, I would suggest you go and join. He keeps all of his stuff open. But this ties in with the WPATH files very nicely because it shows that even currently, the British Psychological Society, that's supposed to be a serious body, are still enamoured of and pushing WPATH nonsense. So let's take a look and see what James has provided us with, and then you can go and have a look for yourself. Link as usual in the doobries. Please do buy me a coffee, whatever you can do to help become a warrior teacher. James begins. The British Psychological Society, BPS, that's the acronym there, was founded in 1901 and currently acts as the representative body for well over 60,000 psychologists. I first became concerned with ideological capture in the BPS when I saw that they were actively promoting mermaids to vulnerable patients. This is the same mermaids under investigation by the Charity Commission for safeguarding issues, including sending breast binders to children behind parents' backs. So when the opportunity presented itself last week to go undercover to an internal BPS webinar, I took it. The purpose of the webinar was to shine a light on the history of the LGBT plus community's experience of receiving healthcare. Well, God knows what they're going to talk about then. If I remember rightly, gay men were treated pretty badly when HIV hit. I don't know what the cross-dressing LARPer gusset fumblers were doing, but we were treated pretty badly. Got there in the end, though. However, this was far from a mere talking shop, James tells us. The BPS stated that the webinar aspires to equip psychologists with actionable insights and recommendations to implement some systemic change. Here we go. So what James is saying here is essentially that the BPS has fallen to the critical social justice mob with their power and oppression narratives. So now they're looking at a way that they can make systemic changes to help. This nothing to do with the LGBT. Forget that, because that's not what they're interested in. Systemic changes to help cross-dressing LARPers, fetishists, and paraphiliacs. That's what it is. Before attending the webinar, James took the time to look up the speakers. Talk about a rogues gallery. First of all, we have Dr. Adam Jowett, chair of the BPS EDI board, who has led research for the government on their proposed ban on conversion therapy. Then we have Penny Catterick, a trans member of the BPS Human Rights Advisory Group, LARPing bloke, right? Then we have Dr. Heather Armstrong, academic at the University of Southampton, and Dr. Catherine Hubbard, academic at the University of Surrey. Then we have Dr. Rob Agnew, clinical psychologist and chair of the BPS section of Gender, Sexuality and Relationship Diversity. Clearly, the BPS was bringing out the big guns. The webinar began with panellists' thoughts on the current state of play, including trans healthcare in society. The audience were told that LGBTQ people face huge medicalisation. Well, I haven't faced any huge medicalisation. I mean, have any gay people, talking to gay men now, have you had the medicalisation lately that relates to the fact that you're gay, or if you're still not paying attention, a member of the LGBTQ cult? The doc's not run me up and go, here, gayer, come have your bum checked. I've not. It's absolute nonsense. The usual dollop of scaremongering was quickly added. We were informed that we are living in precarious and serious times by Dr. Catherine Hubbard. On the theme of patients feeling anxiety and distress, she said, of course, you feel anxious and distressed. Look at the world you're living in and the way your being is being pathologised. She's talking about the TQ, isn't she? Nothing to do with LGBT. They're forced teaming. The BPS are forced teaming with these LARPing people. Drives me mad. However, the most concerning statement of the session came from Dr. Rob Agnew, chair of the BPS. Agnew began with what can only be described as a rant, claiming that we have allowed socially sanctioned discrimination from people who can hide behind other protected characteristics. Unbelievable! It is clear who Agnew is referring to here, those of us who hold gender-critical beliefs, which, as we know, are protected under the Equality Act 2010. How would gender-critical members of the BPS feel listening to this? However, the worst was yet to come. Agnew went on to refer to a statement from the United Kingdom Council of Psychotherapy, that's UKCP, as being transphobic. This statement was off the back of litigation I pursued against UKCP, not me, James, UKCP, and it recognised explicitly that psychotherapists are both professionally and legally entitled to hold gender-critical beliefs. That's an interesting one there, James, legally entitled to hold it. Personally, I think it should be legal for them not to hold it. Illegal for them not to hold it. Because you'd have to be, because otherwise you're a loon, aren't you? You're helping the loons, with the multiple personality people and whatever. Agnew stated that we should clamp down on therapists with gender-critical beliefs in the way we wouldn't expect a female client to accept therapy from an incel or a misogynist. What the hell is going on? That this Agnew toad can do this? To compare clinicians who believe in biological reality with incels or misogynists is beyond disgraceful. Shockingly, not a single panellist challenged Agnew on this statement. Remember, these panellists are purporting to speak on behalf of the entire BPS. James has then thankfully provided us with a video to watch of this bunch of ne'er-do-wells spouting cobblers, right? So you can actually watch a bit of it and see what the rubbish they're coming up with. I think it's just extraordinary. And then later on in the article, go read it if you want it all in the article. This is the same WPATH. Sorry, I was particularly concerned, says James, to hear a recommendation from the panel that WPATH psychologists should be recognised by NHS. What? And that recognition and promotion of WPATH practices by the British Psychological Society practitioners could likely benefit psychological treatments in the UK. Absolutely gobsmacking. This is the same WPATH recently under intense spotlight following the publication of the WPATH files, demonstrating that these clinicians are clearly aware of the serious damage that can be caused by puberty blockers, cross-sex hormones and surgery in the name of gender affirmation. This is the same WPATH which recommends breast and penis removal for children as young as 9 years old and has even advised that eunuchs are recognised as a distinct gender identity. That's the British Psychological Association. Mark these people's names well. Mark these names well, because these are the people that are causing the trouble and we need to get them out. And I think shame's a good way to do that. What do you reckon? Should we shame them? Should we get the rogues gallery up? There they are again. Shame them. Thank you, James, for a great article. Thank you for watching in this continued and rather gobsmacking for me series on the WPATH files. Keep joining those dots. I'll see you later.